Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters 4. I know it's only like a few days later, but it's from the last one, but it's Saturday, March 23rd, and I'm going to get the year right this time. I keep saying 2021. No, it's 2020, I mean 2023. No, it's 2024. Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. And when you're hearing this, it'll be Easter Monday, which I'm probably at a party at this point while you're hearing. Well, no, while you're hearing this, I'm not at a party yet. But that day I'm going to party at 4. And I'm planning on bringing my cameras, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll bring my because I have expired film in my Minolta Highmatic S7, not the S7II, but the S7 II. That one's lighter, but this one's bigger. Anyway, that's not the point. The point I'm trying to say here is like I want to try and get it right, and it's color film, so I might, or maybe I don't bring that one. No, 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 no. That's what I'm bringing for something else. Sorry. What I'm bringing is my Ricoh AF5, and I'm gonna put my what's it called in it? I'm gonna put my and maybe my I'm gonna, with a black and white Ilford XP2. And since that's a point and shoot, I can just like let it do its stuff for me. But and I might bring, I think I'm gonna bring my Instax Mini 9. The only problem is that I don't have good film. They're I was going to say check my Instagram, but I'm not going to post either of those on Instagram. Actually, I don't think. Oh, maybe the one I took of myself, but yeah, maybe we'll. Yeah. So like it's not great, but it's just kind of saturated and it looks terrible. At least the one I took a picture of outside because it snowed just recently, and so today actually, and I'm going to take out. And then I took a picture of the snow, and I'm like, oh god, that's awful, like just terrible. 'Cause everything looks. And my dad said when I showed it to him, I'm like, whoa, 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 that's great. That's color. He's like, yeah. Jeez, Louise, that does not look good at all. I'm like, yeah, no, it doesn't. That's why I want new film. Although I don't know if the new film's gonna look like leaps and bounds better. You know, because they're not leaps and bounds better. Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, it's not so much better. You know, it's just like I don't know if it's gonna be like leaps and bounds better or just kind of like just a bit better. Because I looked at the two pictures and went, it's not horrible. Because I looked at pictures that I've taken with that were taken with in focus cameras, and then I took remembered ones where like, oh, this is not in focus, and I'm like, okay. Or sorry, non-exposed cameras, expired film, and then I took one with inspired film. For some reason, my camera likes to look at the thing and turn it completely orange. But okay, sure. I'm just gonna post this one, see what people think, without a fun caption. Yeah, anyway, without a caption on it. But yeah, so go on my Instagram and go to the newest photo, and um you'll see the newest photo with expired film. And I'm just like, oh, look, I'm not saying it's terrible, but I'm just saying like, okay, I would not consider it great because I'm like, I don't know, something I'm like, it just looks a little bit like muted. There just isn't. It just isn't. You know, just there's not enough there. At least not in my opinion. So what was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Because I want to try and get this working well. I want to try and actually figure out how to actually take pictures. Because what I'm getting is a light meter or a light exposure meter, which people say is either the same thing or it's an interchangeable word that people use. And so I'm trying to get one, and the guy's like trying to sell it to me, and he's like, "Look, it's $15. Just go freaking, I'll send it to you." And he's like, "Okay, great." And so how much is it going to cost me in all? It's like I think it's going to cost me $40 in all. And to be honest, it seems like a decent price. I have no idea how about any of this, so I'm going to try and see if it's actually good. In my opinion, I wanted one, but it was sold already, and then the other one was not so good because I used wine cells, and another one was like $125. Like, what's with people? What? Okay, I'm sorry. What's with people in? It's a certain like hobbies, but then others it's like on certain things that they sell, and other times it's just a certain thing just because it's like old, because it's old, or they think it's rare, or they think it's useful. They're like, oh, or if there's any kind of like interest in it, they're like, oh, must be expensive, or they look okay, or they look at like I'm pretty sure my local like secondhand store does the same thing. My local it's like a card and coin and video game store. I'm sure it does the same thing where they do that stupid thing, like, cause they'll do it at flea markets all the time. They'll do it at flea markets all the time, and it'll just be this really ridiculous thing where they'll look on eBay. They won't look at the sold listings. They'll look at them, go by most expensive, and then they'll just go, yeah, maybe they're like a little bit smarter than that, and be like, okay, we'll put it a little bit lower than what the selling there for. But I'll pretty much sell it for what someone's trying to sell it for. And so if there's one trying to be sold for like $1,000 and it's worth like $1, they don't give a hoot. They're like, oh, that's the price now. And you're like, no, you're an idiot. Please don't do that. So a lot of people do that too. Where it's like, oh my god, they look at eBay and be like, yeah, that's expensive, but that's what I selling it for. And it's like, and it's like, take it or leave it, bitch. I'm like, oh my god, no way, you're an idiot. And then you say some ridiculous. Because I kind of agree with. There's one thing I agree with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. Where it's like one thing he says is if you're going to negotiate at like a yard sale or a flea market or something like that or a swap meet, what you do is you like say somebody wants $100. You say some ridiculously low number. You don't say the number you're willing to pay. You say the number that like you like some ridiculously low number that you know they're probably going to say no to, like $10 or $20, and they'll go, "What are you out of your mind?" And then you go, and then they go, you say they want 100, right? So they'll go 90. You go, okay, 30. They go 80, 40. They'll go 70, 50, and then you meet at 60, and there you go. That's what you were willing to pay for it at the beginning. But you were not going to get to that point because if you said 60, they'll be like, or 70, they'll be like, can you take 80? And then you end up paying more than you wanted to pay. I agree with him. You have to say some ridiculously low numbers that you can actually get down to like, or you could do in different increments like 25, no, 30, no, 35, and then like you can get to a point where you're actually paying way less than you actually wanted to pay, or what you wanted to pay, rather than like, oh, they're gonna want more because you're like, well, you're at a level. Okay, can you do this and this? I don't know. Like $40, I think is pretty good for it. I don't know. He wants $40 for it, so I think it's fine. I like like with shipping. I'm like, because he wants to ship it to me. I'm like, I'll just ship it to you. So whatever item I'll ship it to you. It's like, okay, sure. I'm not saying that's a great idea. I'm just saying like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's even super necessary because I was apparently reading my light meter app wrong. Because when I click a button to measure, that's measuring like some other. Oh, that's measuring the picture for the thing, not taking into consideration what the actual like camera would see. So it's like, oh, and then it would give me a different number based on like a different ISO instead of what's it called? Instead of the ISO for the camera. That I set on the dial for the app for the light meter app. So like for the app, it's like what? Why? Like the dial for it? Like what? Why? There's a dial. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's kind of dumb and it kind of makes no sense to me. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Somebody was making the point that, or was trying to tell, like was saying how it's very convenient when you have an analog light meter that you can just like dial in like what you have, and then just boom, you can just get the reading you need. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Because that's the thing, right? They were telling me to use something like Sunny 16, and I was like, oh, that only works though if it's in perfectly sunny setup. I think I already said this already, but and so like that's just not great. So, but like so they're saying like just read your light meter and please just read your light meter and make it good. Like and just follow your light meter. Just follow your light meter. And they've been saying that for a while. Like just follow the gosh darn light meter because they were peeved off when I the first time I ever took pictures and like, wow, you're awful. What are you doing in automatic without a battery? And I'm like, oh, I see. And it's like, and we talked about. I know I said this last episode, but we talked about like they're saying on the Discord server, like we talked about a freaking what's it called? Light meter. So what are you doing? Idiot. I'm like, wow. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I'm an idiot. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm an idiot. Don't get me wrong, I'm an idiot. Yeah, in more ways than one. More ways than one. But yeah, so for me at least, I was like, oh, okay, should I get is the physical real light meter like worth it? And he's like, yes, it's convenient when your camera dies or your phone dies and you want to take a picture. Yeah, so although I realized that I don't really care about flash like digital photo analog photography really as much as I thought. I like the physical picture, but I don't really care if it comes out of my phone, off of my digital camera, off of like my. Because I could take 1,000 pictures and then pick like 5 and or 10 or something and just take up, and print them. Because nobody else cares. Although it has that look. So I was thinking to myself, oh, just get an adapter, adapt an old lens to it, and get that look anyway in digital. Because you think about it, right? I would probably keep like 1 or 2 films, like probably a color and a black and white, just for S's and G's, gits and shiggles. Throw that once. Gadies and gentlemen and gentlemen, gadies and gentlemen, and lentlemen. Sorry, gadies and lentlemen. Somebody said, and he goes, we're doing this for gits and shiggles." I'm like, wow, okay. What was I saying? Yeah. So yeah, and like, yeah. What was I gonna say? Keep like 1 or 2. Because, well, I mean, because it does give that like look that it has. Because I was listening to, I think it was it Marquez Brownlee, or was it because was it the Waveform podcast, or was it the WAN show? Anyway, they were asking, what is a picture, right? And I thought to myself, okay, well, what do you mean by what is a picture? Like, are you saying what are you trying to achieve when you take a picture? Like, are you trying to get that like camera's look of the picture, or are you trying to get reproduce exactly what you see in front of you? Because anything, right, used, right, anything done to the picture after the fact, post process in any way, shape, or form is technically that's not the picture that you took. Now, like I said, are you trying to get the look at the camera? So, like, let's say film, right? Are you trying to get the look at that camera, or are you trying to get? Are you trying to reproduce exactly what you see in front of you? Because with the Ricoh, right? The Ricoh did a really good job. You can go back to my go back to my Instagram and look up the apple picking and the Centre de la Nature pictures, and you'll see that like they're actually very representative of the world that I saw. Excuse me, a little too green, but very close to accurate, very close to accurate to what I was seeing. Only with like a film grain to them, like a film, like it looked like film. You're like, oh yes, that is definitely film. Like that's the thing, it is. So that was good. But then I took pictures recently, and they're a little too like you could tell it was film, and you could tell it wasn't super accurate to what was like what I was seeing. Now that could be how they developed the film at the lab. I don't know. I don't think it does. That makes as much of a difference as I think. Or how they scanned the film. Cause I'm looking at the pictures right now, right? The scans are a little bit brighter than the actual photos. And I printed the photos on printer paper and on like printed photo paper and on like from my inkjet printer, and on my I got the photos done at the lab, and I was looking at them both, and I went, I see how they're slightly different, and it's slightly different here on the photo than it is on the scan. And the scan is weird because it depends on how they want to like edit it, because they will edit it a little bit. They were on the Discord, they were explaining to me like almost every lab like edits it even just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, so it's like the lab, and it's like, yeah, I'd like to go to a different lab just to see how they process their stuff, but their stuff's like far away, and this one's like I could, not that it's like closely walking distance, but if I had to, I could walk there. And so for me at least, I'm just like, okay, so that could be the reason why it looks kind of weird and like either too blue, green, red, yellow, orange. They always look a little too something. Although I then think about like what I was looking at, and I go, oh no, I think it actually was kind of that color. And it's like, yeah, no, it was. I'm like, oh no, it was, and it was. Yeah. So, are there any pictures out of there that I could use for my next album? Let me look. Oh, that could be a good one. Actually, I just realized. Oh, that's nice. Okay. I'm just looking like maybe any of these actually. To be honest. wish I could hold it where I could like still talk, or I could put this down. Oh yeah, there you go. And then maybe like this. Okay, yeah, that's not a bad picture. That's a good picture. That's a nice picture. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I still have photos from the last time, so from the last or from the first times. So, ooh, where's the one I like? See, look, that's a little blue, but then I realized, oh, that picture's actually not that bad. And then, oh my gosh, some of these are great. Like, oh, those are nice. Oh, those two or those three. Any of those three would be nice. Ooh, or no, that's one right here. Just take this and change it. Ooh, I don't know, like any picture can be an album cover. It's like, yeah, no, it can. Ooh. So what was I saying? That's a terrible photo. What the heck? These pictures would be great to use as album covers, but like, where's that one right there? Perfect album cover. Problem is, I would need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there were 9 people there. Wait a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, there were 11. Whoopsies. Including me, there are 15 people. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that would be a great picture. The problem is, or this one is not bad. Or is it? That one where she's no, because they're not looking. And that was just no. But yeah, this one's a great picture. Where is it? Right here. And so, at least here it's like, but I have to get not 10 different people's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different people. 10 people's permission, and it's like a whole bunch of like rigmarole, and one person I don't even know what relationship I have with her anymore, and it's like, See, I'll probably say yes, to be honest, but it's just a hassle. It's like, don't bother with it. Although I'd also change it too to make it look weird, but okay. Or just use this as an actual album cover because it's actually pretty good. Like this one guy in this picture I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, that's like a rap album cover. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. So I don't know if I'm going to use those. I like the black. Black is pretty good too. Black framed ones, but the ones I like are I'm going to use the white, but I'm going to buy some white. I'm going to buy 50 pack of white, but I'm going to pay yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to use this. So I don't know if I'm going to use these ones for anything really, because they look kind of bad. I mean, they're not horrible. There's a look to them. When I was buying them, the person who was selling them was message, was telling me like, oh well, was like saying to me like, well, some people like that look. And I'm like, yeah, look, I can get new ones. Don't get me wrong. Like it's fine. I'm just saying like, I didn't care, and I would use them anyway. I mean, they're whatever. I mean, cause um, expired film is not as like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not as like, it doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Like people think it matters way more than it does. At least that's what my lab told me. One of the people at my lab told me. He's like, "Oh yeah, well, unless you it got exposed like to light prematurely, it really is not going to matter as much as some people think. As much as people think. It's like, oh really? It's like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh okay, cool, cool. She's obviously like, well, depending on how old, obviously, if you got, film from the 40s, 50s, yeah, it's going to make a heck of a lot of like it's going to make way more of a difference than if you had like a photo, or if you had it from the like, I don't know, 90s or 2000s, right? Like yeah. Although I just want to go with my I'm probably gonna use my Ricoh and my Zoom H1N. I'm thinking of Zoom H1N. No, stop it. That's a microphone. No, sorry, that's not even a microphone. That's a voice recorder. No, for I'm going to use my Fujifilm. What is it? DL1000 Zoom. You know. So. Oh, maybe it's not a year. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Zoom probably with a lot of my photos, just because like they're point and shoot, and maybe a Ricoh for. Well, sorry, not Ricoh. Maybe a what's it called for? Maybe a what's it called? Maybe whoopsies. Maybe a the Minolta, the smaller Minolta, because like, good lord, good lord, Minoltas. I'm sorry, the Minolta I have is so. It's not even that bad, but it's heavy enough to be like, wow, that's just like I think I made this point. I made this observation at this point before, where it's like, you don't realize how much weight and size matters until you change something, even like 5-10%. You're like, wow. Things only what, like 20% smaller? The S7 II, and it's like leaps and bounds lighter and smaller. It just doesn't feel like you're holding a brick in your hand, like a 50-pound brick in your hand. It's still 100%, not 100%, but still metal and like all metal, and it's like, oh my god, it feels so solid, but it's just so much lighter than the other one. It still feels so solid, but it's still so much lighter. The regular S7 is like 50 pounds. I think I weighed it once, and it was like 12 pounds or something. I'm like, oh my god, like this thing's it's like 10 pounds. I'm holding it right now. It's like 10 pounds. You could freaking curl this damn thing. It's so freaking heavy. It's like redonkulously heavy. It's so bad, and it's like redonkulously big. It feels like you're holding a brick because it's so big and so heavy. Whereas with with the S7 II, it's so much lighter. Like, also, I'm holding my phone, and then and then I use my phone, and then I use my tablet, right? So I'll go from my phone and go, wow, this is kind of decently big. For a phone, it's big. But then you go to a tablet, and I'm like, my tablet is an Samsung Galaxy Tab A 2017, and it's like, wow, it's only what, maybe like 20 to 30% bigger, the screen, but it seems like you're using a freaking 500-inch TV, man. It's incredible. Like, it makes a big difference. I never realized that. Yeah. So yeah, that's photos and stuff. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's photos and what nuts. I mean, sure, sure. What were they gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. That's my photos, and I want to get better photos. But yeah, I'm looking at board games right now, and I'm looking at board games, and I'm like, we played a really fun board game at the retreat. It was basically, it's called The Bible is Funny. There's okay, so it's basically apples to apples, but for the Bible. And I never loved apples to apples. I thought it was funny, but there's a lot of those kind of things too, where it's like apples to apples or Cards Against Humanity, or what else is there? There's also ones like text messages or something. There's one with text messages where like you're finished a text message or something. Did this change anything, or does it hold? Oh no, that can change stuff. Interesting. Okay, well let's leave it where it is. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, yeah. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, those are great. I still remember the one. The one was there was two of them. There was what we something to say to your sibling or something, and it was, and these are real Bible verses, and they give you the context at the bottom. Real Bible verses. They're all real Bible verses. So the response would be, it was something like something to say to your sibling or something, and he goes, "Give me children, or I will die, or let me die. Me children, or I will die." Which is like, wow, okay. But the funny one, the one that's hilarious, just just picture the minister, okay, saying this at a wedding. You lean over to to the groom, and you go, and he goes, this is what I'm picturing. Isn't her younger sister hotter? Oh my god, that's incredible. I think I read that off, and I went, no, yes, we're doing this. Is great. Oh man, oh man. Anyway, what were they gonna say? Yeah, so what were they gonna say? Yeah, the other great game that is good is Slaps, or Egyptian Rats, or Jack Slapjack, or whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty good game because anybody can get into that game. You don't have to even have cards. It's great. Anyway, I remember we were sitting there, okay, the one night before we were going to listen to a sermon, right? And so I'm playing with my friend, and we're playing War, and we're like, oh my god, War is like the longest game ever. He had like we're still like 90% of the cards I had to go through, and we're like, oh my god, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. He's like, yeah, that's the point of War. It just takes forever. It's a tedious game of forever. Kind of boring, like Solitaire, yeah. Yeah. The other great game is Mao. Now, Mao is a game, okay. where it's kind of it's a Fight Club game where you don't talk about Fight Club, so you don't talk about Mao. You cannot say the rules. But the funniest thing is when someone doesn't know Mao, because I didn't remember Mao. I'm like, Mao? Okay, I'll play Mao. Sure, sure. And then I started playing Mao, and I'm like, oh, this game! I love this game, okay? The greatest thing ever. One of the people, she just had no idea what was going on, and at a certain point, she, like, finally realized, oh, because she was, like, trying to figure out, do I want a lot of cards, or do I not want a lot of cards? And then she realized, oh, I want to get rid of my cards, okay. And then Mao just, because Mao is a great game where it's like, card for this, card for that, card for this, card, like, just little things, rules. That's great. Oh, it's the funniest thing ever, because, like, you're just so confused. You're like, what is going on? Because everybody else kind of, well, almost everybody else, the original people who were playing, because other people came in, were, like, all, like, eventually figured out what was going on. But she was still, like, almost till the end. She was just like, what? Huh? What? Because we're all, like, so confused. And then we're like, oh, I get it now. Because we finally figured it out. We're like, wow, I like this. Like, this is great. It's the greatest card game ever. I was telling my friend, and he's like, no, I've never played it. I'm like, oh, we have to play this. It's, like, the greatest card game ever because it's so funny. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. It's the greatest. And also, it depends on who you're playing with. Like, who's the, I was going to say the judge. Nope. The dealer. Because depending on who's playing, there is an element of make it up as you go along. And so it's just very much like, oh, I can just make it up as I go along. To a certain extent, I can just be like, yeah, no. Anyway, I can make it up as I go along. Wow. It's like, yeah, you can. You know, there is an element of you can just make it up as you go along. It's like, wow. So that, like, every time you play it, it's slightly different, and you're just so confused because you're like, wait a sec. I thought we... Wait, there are other rules here? Wait, what's going on? I'm confused. Wait, what? Wait, why are we... Wait, I'm so confused. I thought there... Huh? There's more rules. Yeah. And you can also give yourself rules if you're the dealer, so... Ah, sorry, I forgot to... It's the greatest. It's... God, it's so good. It was so great. Oh, man. If there's any game I recommend anybody play... Everybody play, sorry. If there's any game I recommend everybody play, it's Mao. Mao is the greatest. There's two things in life that are the greatest things to experience. Someone drinking ginger beer for the first time, because they'll think it's natural, just a natural version of, use like lemonade, if you made your own lemonade. Like, oh, yeah. Lemonade isn't like super sour if you make your own. You just put sugar in it, it doesn't matter. But I think it's natural, ginger ale? No. Same person who didn't know the rules of Mao, also didn't know that ginger beer is so strong. She takes a big swig of it, a good like gulp of it, and just proceeds to just choke on it like. I think she said something to the effect of, "What are you trying to do? Kill me? The hell's going on? What is this? Freaking liquor, spirit, alcohol? What are you doing to me, man?" And he's like, "That's." I think I like pointed to her. I'm like, "That's ginger beer for you." Funniest thing to watch. And then, if you don't know Mao, it's great. They're so confused. They're like, what? And they just have this look like, huh? They're just so the look on their face is like the greatest thing ever. It's so good. It's so hilarious. It's like the greatest thing ever. It's so good. I love it. I just love it. Oh yeah, it's the best. It's the best. Beats the rest. Cellular, modular, interactive, modular. That's the banana phone song. I remember my brother printed out the entire lyrics to that song and gave it to my friend, and he's like, "Oh, so you're gonna watch this video now?" And he's like, "Well, no, you just sent me all the lyrics. I don't need it." Like, what? You just gave me the lyrics. I don't need it. Like, what? Okay. Well, it's still funny. Anyway, so yeah, those are great games, board games. I look at board games here, and I'm like, oh god. I'm like the Risk and Dungeons and Dragons and like Aces and Allies thing, where Axis and Allies, where it's like, oh my god, this is ridiculously long. And then you got the really short ones, because everybody plays like the same like 4 ones, where it's like, you know what I mean, like, and they're Monopoly, Scrabble, Sorry, Pictionary, what else? Game of Life, Clue, Risk. I mean, they're not bad games. None of these games are bad. Trivial Pursuit. None of those games are bad. I'm just saying There's more games than that. Come on, people. Like I'm looking at some of the games I have in front of me, like Aces and Allies. I have a game called Treasure Quest, which is like my favorite board game ever. So yeah, it's great. It's great. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, like there's more than. If I had to recommend board games, I recommend Settlers of Catan, Carcassonne, Treasure Quest if you can find it. Any of those cool games like Skull Island and Skull Island or what's the bridge one called? Like there's like a bridge one where like it has a bridge and I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up one day. But like what else is there? There's Rainbow Bridge or Bridge of Doom or something like that. Anyway, and then what else? Any of the ones that almost any of the ones that what's his name has played Board James has done videos on. Yeah, Board James is one of the better series on AVG on Cinemassacre. I don't love Cinemassacre. I never really did. I like James Make Mondays for some reason. I thought it was good. But other than that, I think it was just a consistency of it. Either daily videos were great or weekly videos were great. Like I just liked it. I was very much like I liked that about it. There's something about that was very good. Anyway, what else is there? Yeah. So any of those games are all good. Trivia pursuits are good. Go find some trivia games that are great. Don't get really old ones; those are dumb. 'Cause like I have like rock and roll games, rock trivia, but it's all from like the '80s. So I have no idea any of these or like I have old Trivial Pursuits from like I have a movie Trivial Pursuit, but it's like but it's like from like the '80s, '70s, '80s. So it's like all old. What's a really good one? Seen It. I've seen Harry Potter and seen it movies. And seen it's very much like what's the other one called? A Monopoly, where you can just get any version you like. Oh, you like Seen It? Taboo's good. Taboo's good. I like Taboo. A good one is yeah. So like you can get like Friends Seen It, or Seinfeld Seen It, or Movie Seen It, or TV Show Seen It, or I'm sure it's like a book Seen It. What else? Um, yeah. You can find any Seen It you like Monopoly. Frig is a Scott the Woz Monopoly. Frig, man. You can have Scott the Woz Monopoly. You can have freaking any Monopoly. You can find every Monopoly. The Opolis, yeah. What other board games are good? I don't know. Battleship, pretty good. My brother is one of those people who has like a bunch of those like really weird, random hipster games. I'm like, oh god, but they're actually pretty fun. To be honest, they're actually not bad. Oh, Ticket to Ride's pretty good. I like Ticket to Ride. What else is there? I think board games are, and that's a weird thing. They made an interview once at Ted's Hobby Shop, which is like a hobby shop near me, in a mall near me, and they asked him once. They asked the guy who was there, the guy who runs it. And they asked him, why do you think board games are such a popular thing? Just two things that have like somehow kept relevancy forever, even with the, of the internet, the what's the word I'm looking for? The like invention of the internet, like the beginning of the internet. And it was two things. It was RC things and board games. And he's like, I don't know. Maybe millennials love board games for some reason. For some reason, it's board games. Board games, Kindles, and kids always, for some reason, kids always love RC things. RC cars, boats, planes, trains, they're all so cool. Like miniature trains, they love them. They wouldn't buy them per se. Like they wouldn't go get a Lionel train set per se. But they definitely love watching trains go by. I don't know. Trains, I don't know. Heavy machinery, animals, superheroes, comic books, like army, cowboys and Indians. That's the kind of stuff at least boys love. I don't know why. Like young boys, we just love that stuff. Pirates, ninjas, knights, treasure hunting, adventuring, like Pokemon or Zelda or even Mario to a certain extent. Like it's great. We just love it. I don't know why. I don't know if girls have the same kind of like setup because I don't know what girls are into anymore. This day and age, I don't know what girls are into. Although even when I was a kid, I didn't know what girls were into. I mean, Barbie dolls and like makeup, and like I couldn't really tell you anything more. What movies did you like? What TV shows did you like? And there's some tomboys, definitely 100%. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. So yeah, it's something we just like love. I don't know. At least as as like boys, we love like RC stuff. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. Like, it's probably some fascination with like heavy machinery that we just like. Monster trucks and stuff like that. But yeah, um, definitely. And it's weird. We'll love that stuff. Like, you can still walk into action figures, yeah, yeah. We love that too. Like GI Joe kind of action figures. I love GI Joes because I think they have the best articulation. Every other action figure is like stupid. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So personally, I like because you can walk into because I have like a local. I don't know what it's called. I guess a local coin card and like collectibles store, and it's basically just and it's what's it called? It's called like Illumino Illumination, whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, Imaginaire. That's it. Anyway, Imaginaire, and they have all these things that people still will still buy. They'll still like buy physical things. I'm like, really? Kids like care about these physical things? And I think I asked my local card retro video game store, coins and retro video game store, the same question. Like, the kids still love this stuff? Like this stuff? Like, yeah, some of it. There's certain things that kids will never buy anymore. Like, nah, forget it. And that's you're only selling to like the people who actually want it. Like, and what I mean by that is like the dads, the moms and dads who are like, hey, I'd love to have that. You know, oh, I remember that. That was so cool. And I'm a child, that kind of thing. Or the weird kid who wants it because it's great. But like, at least for me, at least, in my opinion, yeah, for me it's like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. But yeah, yeah, no, I like there's certain things where kids are like, yeah, I want this. I want Atari games, or I want Atari 2600 games, or I want uh this toy, or Hot Wheels, or these things that are just like that transcend time, and just every kid wants them. Every generation wants them. I love that like Tonka truck. That's so cool. Or I love that thing, and they're still selling it to this day. And it's like, what? How? How is this still a thing? It's like, I don't know. Kids just love this stuff. Comic books, hockey cards, Pokemon. You know, you want your cardboard crack. You want your cool stuff. You want, like, it's just great. It's weird. It's so bizarre to me. Like, I'm like, really? Kids really want this stuff still? Like, they really want this stuff still? That's like a thing kids want? And it's like, yeah, no, they do. I'm just like, what the heck? They do. It's like, yeah, they do. They do want it. Interesting. It always baffles me. It's like, really? There's some things that kids are never gonna play with again. Like, remember rocks? ROX. I think it's spelled ROXX. Rocks. And they're basically pogs, but they look like UFOs. Like what the like flying saucer looking things, like the like weird cylindrical disc looking things. I got one for free from that same place because I don't know. I think I helped him with something, and he was like, "Hey, you want this free rocks?" I'm like, "Cool." It was like a pizza or something, but it was basically Pogs, but in like 3D form. So it's like cylindrical. I remember liking the feel of it and thought it was cool. I have the instructions for it. I don't have the actual thing anymore. It's one of those weird things too, where like I know it's in my house somewhere. I did not bring it anywhere. I did not give a hoot about it. But like, no kid's gonna care. There's rocks. There's like Mighty Beans, Bakugan. Although Bakugan has a following, the other things don't. Mighty Beans, nobody cares. What else? Mighty Beans. There's like these other weird like things in like Beyblade type stuff where it's like all these like they tried to make it a thing, but really it's just kind of garbage. Oh, trash packs or whatever the heck they call them now. Grocery gangs. They don't care. Those collectibles, nobody cares. I'm sorry, nobody cares. Don't give me that baloney. Nobody cares. Don't give me that baloney. Nobody gives a hoot. And they don't. Don't try and lie to me. Don't go and lie to me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it back. Get disconnected for any reason. Sorry. So yeah, don't lie to me. You just have a collection of them because you were like obsessed with them at one point, and now you don't care, and you have no idea what to do with them. Basically, don't give me that crap. And it's just like, it's just like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, no, you're kind of right, but they still won't accept it because they spent way too much on it. Anything that came out of a loot crate too. Anything that came out of a loot crate. I'm sorry. You can find them for like a fraction of the price of the loot crate. It's insane. Because some loot crates were amazing, and others were terrible. I got one loot crate once, and I should have got one way earlier because there were cooler things in them. But now I'm just like, I don't even know where that shirt went. I had a shirt with Thanos on the throne, and I don't know where that shirt went. I also have a shirt that said, I had a Captain America shirt, and I had a shirt that said, oh, and I had a Bugs Bunny shirt and a Popeye shirt. Or was it only Popeye? I don't know, only Popeye. But, I had, that said, it was a shirt that said, it was a stormtrooper, and then the Death Star was being blown up, and he goes, and his hands are in his head is in his hand, and he goes, I had friends on that Death Star. Oh, man. T-shirts like that are weird. Hey, buy my t-shirts on Etsy. Link in the description below. Link in the description. But yeah, so, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so, there's just certain things that just nobody cares about. Nah. But it's just mind-blowing how much kids will still like board games, cards, and like, RC stuff. I don't know why. We can simulate all that stuff in video games. There's just something about them that we just really like. Unless we're far away from each other, and we just can't. Like, we're not in the same freaking continent. Same country. Same continent. Because my friend's not in the same continent. Although he doesn't have great internet, so I can't actually play anything with him at the moment. But I do. But I'm just saying, like, we live far enough away that we call each other on Discord and we play, like, board games online. And it's actually really cool. I liked it. That just is not the same thing as playing a physical board game. Like, you can't play slaps online. Come on. Because you don't get the, like, screaming feeling. Ah! Ah! Dung dung! Like your hand slapping on the table. It's amazing. Oh, it's great. There's a version of slap where you slap the card with one hand, and then you slap the person with the other. So you have to or like you slap your cards, then you slap them. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I mean, look, it's a weird thing. Nerf is another thing that like somehow is still Nerf is because you can't really get that same experience. Like saying go ride a bike, like go ride a digital bike. Yeah, no, it's not a thing. You know what's stupid? You know what's really stupid, in my opinion? I don't know why, but for some reason, the Olympics decided to make esports like a thing, right? And okay, fine, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I thought it would be good esports, but no, it decides to be these really crappy, like, huh? Excuse me? What are you doing? Like, because what it is it's basically, which is really dumb. It's like tic-tac-bow, judo, biking, boat racing. I don't know what they're called. There's like a name for this certain type of boat racing. Sailboat racing, whatever. Uh, uh, chess and um. Oh fuck! What was the last one? Shit. Just Dance, and it's like, why? I was watching a WAN show, and they're talking about this, and they play the tic tac bow one, and they're like, wow, I won. Wow, this is so easy. Lions did, and it's so easy. Anyway, and then the one for uh, chess, like, okay, great, but you could have all these other board games too, whatever. But the other one was not just that, it was um, the other one was with the oh gosh, with the Just Dance. Like, this is stupid. Why are you playing Just Dance when they showed videos of people playing like Dance Dance Revolution and being like, no, this is actually impressive. What are you doing? This is stupid. What are you doing? Because I thought there would be actual esports that people actually play as actual esports, not just some ridiculous like random games that are all or 90% app based. It's like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. And no offense, Just Dance is terrible or terribly inaccurate. So what are you doing? I didn't buy the black one. I bought the white one. Okay, or the gray one. Anyway, because I'm looking at the box for my H1N. Ooh, film. Come on. Come. Sorry, I realized what happened. I turned down the input. Whoops. Stop it. Yeah, sorry. Turn down the music. Turn down the input. Sorry, because it's like a little dial. I don't know what happened there. Well, no, because the problem with it is you can turn on the dial while it's on hold, which is dumb, but okay. But anyway, I was saying like, why are you not just giving like? It's really dumb how like, wait, why what? Just do something like DDR Dance Revolution. What are you doing? Anyway. So yeah, I think that's whoopsies. I think that's gonna get it for now, guys. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So, if you want to get in touch with me, there's the email. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There are the two Discords. If you want to contribute, there's the Patreon. There's my music that you can stream or you can buy, and there's my Etsy shop. So it's all linked in the description. Oh, I put up some cool wooden rings that I made recently. Whoo! Mwah, I love them. They're so cool. I want to make rings and bow ties. I think. So I want to sell them, and that's But I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos. Goodbye and God bless.